What's going on, Kingdom Warriors? I hope you guys are having an awesome and blessed day. So, I came across a testimony the other day on the Touching the Afterlife channel, and I will link it below so you guys can check out the full testimony if you want. It's just 5 minutes or so. But this was my favorite part, and the reason is because I'm always emphasizing to you guys that you need to know who you are. You need to know your true identity. I see such a common theme when people they have a near-death experience and they go to heaven, or they're able to see their spirit, or just different encounters. They're amazed with how perfect they are. They're literally perfect. There's no flaws. And what's so cool about it is you're still you. You still have your likes and dislikes. You're still the same person that you always were, but just perfect without the flaws. And if that rubs you the wrong way and you think God is only perfect, you have to remember we abide in him and he abides in us. We are made perfect through him. It's in him that we live and move and have our being. Those who are outside of Christ, they will not be perfected, right? We haven't gotten our glorified body yet, but we have that through him. So don't get religious on me, all right? So check this video out. I hope you guys enjoy it. I'll give you some thoughts at the end, and then I'd love to hear what you guys think in the comments. Enjoy.
30 yards away, I saw this giant being sitting down on a throne. He was enormous. I tell people if he would have stood up, he would have been about the height of 2 telephone poles stacked on top of one another. And I would imagine he could have made himself larger or smaller. He can do whatever he wants. He's all powerful. But what I saw was this being seated down, and he was very still. He was looking forward, but at the same time, I knew that he was looking at me directly. I'm sitting here looking at this being. He had on a robe. He had on a sash around over his shoulders. Now, this thing, I never seen, this thing was purple and like a royal blue, and it was moving. The colors were moving in it. It was like they were alive, and it was like changing. It was like changing colors from purple to blue. It's like royal, like kingly. Had a crown on, and on the crown it had jewels all the way around this crown. He had white hair. White hair was like wavy and curly at the same time. It came down kind of like Jesus was, like underneath the ears. And his face was, I couldn't see facial features. It was like light. But this is not what grasped me. What grasped me was at the base of this throne of this enormous being, there was a cloud all the way around in a circle, all the way around him, and it was shooting out lightning bolts in every direction. And this intrigued me, and I'm looking at this, and then it went from the lightning bolts that went off for a little while, and then it inverted, and it turned into this raging fire, and it was all the way around. When I saw the intensity of this fire, suddenly this fear hit me, and it wasn't the kind of fear like I felt when I saw these things in hell. This was different. This was a fear like, I am not supposed to be here. Like, I'm not supposed to be here. And I went and I hid myself behind this pillar. All right. The moment I did that, this incredible peace and strength came to me. And I stepped back out, confidently stepped back out, still unsure too. Stepped back out, and oh man, I stepped back out and I looked at this being. And without saying a word, my lips never moved. Something came from the deepest part of me, of my soul. And this is what I said. I said, hey, Dad. And then when that came out, I turned around like this, like, where did that come from? It was like God pulled that out of me, and he was like saying, this is who you really are. This is how I see you. Because at that moment in my life, like I said, I've been struggling like, am I good enough? Am I good enough? And I think many people struggle with that because they want to be pleasing to the Father, but they don't fully have an understanding yet of how his love and his acceptance is. And so this is what God gave me. When I said, hey, Dad, it came from the deeper part of me. And then the response was this invisible wave came from him. And I remember it moving and bellowing over towards me. And it was incredible because it was a whole bunch of stuff was said without saying a word. But the gist of it was, you are mine. You are fully accepted. And it was like, you belong to me. And it just filled me with this warmth and this incredible grace and strength and acceptance, like you are totally accepted by me. Because like I say, that had been something I've been struggling with, and to this day I still have to wrestle with and battle with that. That's my thorn in the flesh to keep me humble.
I love those good testimonies like that. They get me every time. I enjoy those things just because, like I said, they remind us of our identity and who we are, and we've got to keep our spirits fed. You know, yeah, I often think of us as like our body is almost like a vessel with holes in it, and when you pour God in, you know, there's holes. It's just always slowly draining because we live in a world of sin. So you have to continuously fill yourself up. You always have to renew your mind. You always have to watch what goes in your eye gates and your ear gates, and you have to really protect yourself. You have to take it seriously. And it takes a while to realize how important it is, but you'll start to see changes in yourself when you protect what you consume and things of that nature. And of course, the most important thing to consume is definitely the Word of God. But there's other things you can do as well. We're not robots. God knows that. Lately, sometimes he tells me to take a break and go, you know, it's a man. God is, he's not religious. He's not like you think. So like I said, I love that video because the part where he just said, hey, Dad, you know, I just think that's awesome. And I also want to point out, if when you heard that, something rose up, and be honest with yourself, or if any part of that, something kind of rose up in you, and it's like, there's no way that could be. We wouldn't say Dad. He wouldn't say. Why would he say that? We call him Father. He's our Father. I would urge you to watch a video that I'm going to drop. Let's say Saturday night, tomorrow night at 8 p.m. And that is on religion, because I come from a Catholic background, and there was a lot of things that you kind of get programmed sometimes, depending on what your background is and where you come from. And you definitely need to guard. Let everything go through a filter of the Word of God, right? For sure. You need to filter what you, but also don't put God in a box. And again, that's why it's important to know him individually, because he will reveal things to you that seem like they're not in the scriptures, but then oftentimes he can show you where it is, and it's kind of hidden in there. And there's just a lot of awesome, it's a journey. It's a journey, and I'm learning along with you guys. But I definitely would urge you to check out that. And even if you didn't feel that way, then I think it's still a pretty good teaching that's cool to know. And you guys may have heard me talk about the transition of the church as well. I should probably have done something a little bit more in depth. I kind of talk about things in the middle of videos about other things, but maybe one day I'll do that. So as I said, definitely please let me know what you guys think in the comments. I'd love to hear it. If you enjoyed it, should I do more videos like this? Maybe some more reactions? You guys kind of want to, you know, tell me what you enjoyed. Give me some feedback. And my goal is always to be feeding your guys' spirit ultimately and encouraging you, even if it doesn't seem like it. You know, that's always the end goal here. So I hope you feel edified, and I hope the channel blesses you, and I bless you as well. And remember, I always end my videos by saying we are sons and daughters of the Most High God, and be royal. And that video is a reminder. That's why I liked it so much. You know, I always want to remind you guys of who you are. As I've said in another video, that I notice sometimes people don't make it all the way through because they're long. So let me just say it here in a shorter one, is that I used to always think we have to fight against the devil. You know, we're in this battle. And in reality, I've learned that all we have to do is learn who we are and let our light shine bright. You just have to get your identity, because there is really no contest between us or God and the devil. God is waiting on us to make the enemy his footstool. All right. The natural nature of darkness is that it cannot remain when light is present. It simply is gone. When you turn on the light, there's no darkness. God, it's not by coincidence why it's like that. The nature of God is such as actual light and darkness. There's no difference. The problem is we're not letting our light shine bright enough. And the more you come into your identity and the more you get on fire, I promise you demons flee. And all you have to do is be there. All right. The word of God says that we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against powers and principalities and wicked rulers in high places. I've noticed that it's talking about your thoughts. Wrestling is more of it's your mind, right? You wrestle with thoughts. The enemy will try to give you thoughts that are not your true identity, and you wrestle with them. But it's not a physical fight. Obviously, we know that. And I've also found another tip is he literally tries to give you the opposite identity of who you are, which is crazy. But it's and you'll notice that a lot in like Satanism, the upside down cross, the blood instead of water, or light instead of dark. A lot of times it's just an inversion. So if you're someone that's supposed to be a public speaker, you might have social anxiety or a lot of anxiety, and it wouldn't make any sense to you. And you'll think, well, there's no way God intends me to do this, or I wouldn't be like this. But God didn't place that on you. It's a spirit of some sort that's causing you to feel that way, and you have to detach yourself from it and be free. All right, so let me end it here and keep it short. I hope this video blessed you guys. Have an awesome weekend. Catch you next time.